I tell people, man, it's really tough being successful as a man and single. Like, that's one of the most dangerous things I think,
Here's the best way to put it, man. I think my wife came to me knowing she wanted to be knowing that she wanted to be my wife.
Yeah.
It's not so much that she was my girlfriend, and then later on after marriage became my wife.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't become my wife the moment we signed an agreement that we're husbands and wives. And
Right.
I think that's the thing that sometimes some women have, you know, is that they figure they want to stay girlfriends, and then I'm gonna become your wife when I sign and when you put that ring on my finger. And it's hard to, make a girl turn into your wife. I think she needs to go with that intention of becoming your wife.
Yes, that's why it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. She was already a wife when you found her.
Exactly.
That's powerful, man. That's a great message to send out. I want to talk about your upcoming fight, but before I do that, I want to ask you, who's your top 3 boxers, any weight class, all time?
Top 3, man. Sugar Ray Leonard, Chavez,
Okay.
and it's just a bunch.
That third spot is always the hard one.
Probably Salvador Sanchez, maybe.
Okay. Who's the fighter that you model yourself after?
Oscar De La Hoya, bro.
De La Hoya.
De La Hoya, man. He became a gold medalist in 1982, the year in Barcelona, the year I was born. He's the one that, he came back to LA as an Olympic gold medalist. He went on to become a world champion. He went on to open up his own promotional company. And
so it's all that total package?
The total package, man.
Yeah.
The way, he was making money. I mean, he was a pay-per-view star before anybody.
Yeah.
So he's the one that opened that market of pay-per-view stardom. He was the first one to do it.
Yep.
And then Mayweather, took it away from him afterwards,
Yep.
But it was thanks to that fight with Oscar De La Hoya versus Mayweather that made Mayweather's first big money.
Yeah, just to make him start seeing things different.
Yeah, so Oscar did it. Oscar did it all, man. I know he has his own little adversity that he goes to, but you can't take that away from him. Being the golden boy, having that love and that and that respect when he did and became a world champion, and now he's promoting fighters, and he's my promoter now, and but I've always said this even before when I went to Top Rank, and as a young guy. When I first went pro and I went to Top Rank. But that's who I kind of wanted to follow up. I was like, when I was 13 years old, and I was already showing that I was one of the best in the nation. And then I went on as a 15 and 16-year-old to become the junior Olympic champion. I was like, man, what did Oscar do? Oscar became an Olympian. And that's why his market went higher when he went pro.
Yeah.
Because you could be a good amateur, but if you're an Olympian and you come back with that gold medal, you're going to get a big signing bonus. So he's the one that kind of, obviously
set a blueprint for you.
Exactly. Directed me where to go,
Got you. Let's talk about your upcoming fight. You're fighting Arnold Barboza. Yeah. And you're fighting in Saudi, right?
In Saudi, yeah.
November 16th. What do you see in his fighting style that you feel like you're gonna win that fight, and what do you feel like he'll exploit?
Well, Arnold Barboza, he's undefeated. He's undefeated, but it doesn't mean that he's a younger fighter than I am. He's a good boxer. He moves well. He's very he has very good fundamentals. But I think one thing that he lacks on, first and foremost, I don't think he's been in the level I have. I don't think he's faced a guy like me. He's never fought for a world title before, and I've been under those lights before, and he hasn't, and so my experience when it comes to that level of competition, second, I think my power. I think I'm the stronger fighter, and I think if most people forget, man, that I was an Olympian. So when it comes to my boxing abilities, knowing how to be a solid boxer and also find the inside, I think I could overwhelm him and break him down. So that's what I'm focusing, is kind of bringing that killer instinct back. And I sparred yesterday, man. I made one of my sparring partners throw up, in the 4th round. So I hit him with the body, and then just that pressure, the constant smart pressure that he was throwing, and I was making a miss. I was always there.
Right.
Even though it was sparring, man.
Keeping the pressure on him.
Yeah, it made him throw up, Yeah. And he's a golden boy fighter who's undefeated too. I believe he's 11-0. But that just shows the level where I'm at. And sometimes, you know, things like that, working on those things, working on that smart pressure and just overwhelming Arnold Barboza, I think that's going to be the goal.
That's dope, man. I don't want to look too far past this fight, but I did want to ask you, how many more do you think you have in you? How long are you going to be fighting?
So hopefully after this one, man, I become the mandatory challenger for Teofimo Lopez, man. I've been trying to get that fight for the last 2 years, and it hasn't happened. So putting myself in that position, either Teofimo fights me or he has to vacate his bout.